Howdy ladies and gentlemen, I'm a representative from TheXploder, Dom TheXploder Coles, one of the game designers on our dev team, and today we will be giving you the chance to have a look through one of the levels in ImpOssible, known as Red Fire Chasm. So without further ado, let's get in and let's show you what it's all about. And so here we start Red Fire Chasm from the end of the first level, where you would come up a staircase in a cutscene. You come up to the top here, you would activate this lever to open the door, and as you open the door, a blight creature pops up behind you. Now we made this blight creature immortal on purpose to show you the HUD. Now if you look in the top left hand side of your screen as we replay this moment, you will see that the HUD, upon receiving damage, not just lowers, showing that your health is gradually going down each time you're receiving damage, but on top of that also shows that the HUD picture itself also changes from Ossible being happy to Ossible ending up becoming sadder and sadder and more worried to ending up being dead. Now that we've shown you how the HUD works, now we're going to play the game as it should be, starting from the beginning again, climbing up these steps again, activating the lever, opening the lovely textured door. All the textures done here have been done by hand by our very skilled texture team that have been working tirelessly to get all that sorted out, which is absolutely wonderful. Now these blight creatures appear from these blight puddles, and the different blight creatures will do different things. The one that Ossible is fighting right now is simulating that blight creatures will walk around the place and will melee attack you if you get close enough to them, whilst other blight monsters will stay in their pool and will spit blight goop at your face.
Hello.
So it's a matter of differentiation of how enemy creatures can indeed attack you and hinder your progress. So you have to move and you have to change your strategy depending on, of course, what is thrown in front of you. Which we really wanted to do. We really wanted to display a sense of challenge and a sense of puzzling skill that you really needed in order to progress in this game, which I think we truly captured with all this. And now we move on to one of our main aspects of the game, the platforming. As we see here, we have simple moving platforms, which you obviously have to jump one to the other two, and later on we're going to become much tougher when the platforming sections come on the board, as well as you can actually fall in the lava, but because Ossible is an imp, lava doesn't actually affect him that much, so you can actually swim in lava, and as well as there are moving platforms going up and down in lava to help Ossible get out. So it's not like you jump in the lava, you're screwed because you can't get out, because you can, which is absolutely amazing. So we're moving over here. There are more blight puddles. Sadly, no more blight, just because we haven't had time to implement all of them, but all the puddles show where all the blight will end up being, which is very good. Now here we come to one of our big platforming sections, where we have a bottomless pit, where you will die if you fall down it. You've got to be very precise with your jumping. You've got to jump over. You've got to jump over the lava. You've got to jump over the ditches. You've got to be very careful. And here's one of our lovely torches for decoration right there. And here's one of the puzzles. Now you're thrown into this room. The doors through that cavern to the right are all shut. And in order to open this skull door, you have to shoot the giant skull in the middle, and opens the door. Simple as. You walk through the door, you go through this lovely causeway of torches and particle systems, all created by hand. You go through all of this, you end up into the first key room, the red key room. Now upon acquiring the red key, you'll be able to access the doors that were locked in that previous passageway, which we will be heading back to after acquiring the key. Here we go, acquired the key. Now the key has been acquired, the doors will be opened, so now we're going to head back. Now I have plenty of mechanics working here. I might as well talk about the weapons whilst we're going from A to B. The weapons that we have available to Ossible, we have a melee weapon and a projectile weapon. The melee weapon being a sword, which are, like, you might have seen the white waves going around Ossible earlier on. That was the sword blade. that has minimal range but very strong damage. Whilst on the other hand, you have his fireballs that have extremely good range, but aren't nearly as powerful as his melee attacks. So it gives you a chance to really change your strategies depending on what enemies you're up against. Do you want to do maximum damage, or do you want to keep them at bay, or do you want to keep them back and pressure them down with fireballs again and again and again, just to hinder their progress as well as saving your own butt. It's nice to give players that option as well. It is very nice to give them that option and to give them that availability. Now, sadly, we fell in the lava there. we would have shown you some of the lava swimming techniques as well as, but we thought to ourselves, well, I've already explained to you about the whole lava system and being able to swim in it and get out of it, so we felt as if we didn't really need to show much of obviously swimming around in lava. But hopefully when this game is ready for full release, if we think about making a full release of it, then obviously swimming will be available to you all, which is absolutely fantastic. Now this is another one of our platforming sections, simply jumping from one platform to the other to get to the other side. Platforms differentiating in size, always nice to change around the field a bit for a bit. Now we're going to jump over to here, where you would have a couple of more blight creatures, which do pop up, because now you are back to where you were back a while back, if you understand what I mean there. So basically you've just made a loop round, where you've been able to acquire the key, open the doors in order to get back to where you were, which now opens this section, which is the blue area. Now the blue area is where you would get the blue key, and the blue key is the last key that you need in order to progress further into the level and eventually hit the big boss fight, which will be coming up later on. Now we've got another simple lever over there, opening that up, and here is one of our puzzles. Now you have to pull these switches in the right order. In this case it is first lever, third lever, which, come on ImpOssible, you need to find the right way of turning it on. There you go, that's the third one, and the second one. And upon turning them in the right order, it opens the door towards your next key area, which is the blue key. Now here is when the mechanics differ a little bit. You've been platforming, you've been testing your skills, jumping from one platform to another, and now you've got this, the next challenge, which is ghosting platforms. Now what will basically happen here is, whilst you're jumping from platform to platform, some of the platforms will end up ghosting. And when they ghost, it basically means if you try to jump onto that platform, you will fall through it. Like what happened there. You'll fall through it, you'll end up going down into the fiery pit of doom underneath, and you sadly will end up losing the day. But after acquiring that key, you will be able to open up some more rooms that will be available to you, one of which is this. A really big blight room guarding ton o' health. And we have working health pickups as well in this game. Obviously health pickups giving you back some health that you have lost before. Obviously giving you back the health that you would have lost from battling with blight creatures and receiving the damage that you might suffer from during the game. Which is very nice to implement because of course, being this platforming style of game, it will make sense to have some kind of like health regeneration system one way or another. If you're facing a group of enemies and you suffer really big damage and the next group of enemies you go against will literally one-shot you, it's not really fair. So of course we do have areas in the game where you will be able to find health pickups, pick them up, get your health back up and be ready for the next onslaught of enemies sort of thing, which is very nice indeed. Now here we come to our next platform area, involving more of our lovely levitating platforms, which of course in the world of ImpOssible are 100% pure magically orientated, which is really great. And all of these moving platforms and all the doors opening and all the ghosting techniques, all used using Kismet in the Unreal Engine, which was very good, very well done by our programmers and our Kismet guys. So give them commendations for all of that. fell into the lava again there, so we're just going to flick on forward to what would happen if you managed to get to the other side safely. And if you did get to the other side safely, you'll then go through this causeway of corridors, fighting off some more blight creatures that would be here, because the puddle's right there. And we will move on to this room. Upon entering the room, the door would swing open, or swing shut in some cases. Apparently the Kismet here wasn't working 100% whilst doing the filming for this, but no need to worry, it does show that the doors do open, which is perfect. And as you hit the green flames, you're moving on to the boss fight area. And the boss fight, well, in my personal opinion, is the key thing of this level. Every level you'll be ending up going against one boss. And the bosses derive from the different characters that joined ImpOssible and Kazra down into the depths of hell in the first place. So, it will be people like the Sorceress, it will be like Jowl, it will be Dagoth, it'll be all the different classes that you would stereotype within the fantasy world. In this case, you're fighting off against the Sorceress. And the boss fight goes like this. As you saw there, ImpOssible went into the boss fight, Sorceress was shooting projectile weapons at him from afar, and then he not just was ImpOssible dodging all that, but as well attacking the Sorceress as well. The Sorceress then burrows underground, shooting all the stalactites down at you, but you can detect the coming down, so you can dodge all them. And then when the Sorceress comes back up, as you saw previously, she charges a massive green ball of energy. And what this green ball of energy does, she charges up this attack, throws it into the map, and basically what you have to do is you have to hide behind one of these pillars in order to basically dodge the attack. If you're not standing behind one of these pillars that you see now in this little arena that we have, then you will get killed. Here's a showing of it. Yeah, if you're not standing behind a pillar at that point, you will die, or you would suffer severe damage. So it is one of those attacks. It's like one of those bosses' mega attacks where you've got to be incredibly careful, which adds a little bit more of a twist to this whole boss fight scenario. And how the boss fight all works, it all works through Kismet, where the boss suffers a certain amount of damage, moves on to the next part of her attack sequence, comes back up, takes another series of damage, next part, next series of damage, next part, that sort of thing. And then, in a little moment here, after defeating the mighty boss enemy, the boss enemy will cower and die, purge with flame, and ladies and gentlemen, that is how you complete the level simply known as Red Fire Chasm. I hope you have enjoyed this run through of one of the levels presented in ImpOssible today. Tons of commendations to the dev team, and I hope you have enjoyed this as well. Until next time, we are Team ImpOssible, and we're here to make the impossible possible.